brand new live stream with me, Niao Niao, and Wu Nao Hongye behind the camera. Yes, this is a brand new live stream with China Plus, and this year I learned Chinese. I'm not welcoming you with my hands open, ready to hug, because it's super cold here, even though you can see it's absolutely beautiful on the grassland. We are still on our month-long journey of the live coverage of our trustworthy Xinjiang, over 8,000 kilometers, and right here we are basically in the middle of our journey, which means that we've covered a lot of splendid scenes already, splendid views in the northern side of Xinjiang, and we are moving southwards to see a lot of rich culture and, of course, different scenes, different series as well. First and foremost, let me know whether or not you can see and hear me clearly, because it's very windy here, and I think there are a lot of people, a lot of viewers on this platform ready to enjoy the sunset with us. So I want to make sure that you guys will be able to hear me and make sure the sound is clear as well as the video. So please give me a shout out in the comment area. I will shout out back if I can see your comments, and if my phone is still alive despite the low temperature. So yes, please do that. At the same time, to our friends on China Plus America and Here I Learn Chinese, if you have any questions, do not hesitate asking them in the comment area. I will try to answer them as soon as possible, as long as I have signals to see all of your comments. At the same time, if you like the live stream, please like and share and comment as much as possible. It helps us a lot, and it will help other fellow Chinese culture, Chinese society, and Chinese language lovers to see the live stream. Right here, we are in the Bayingguoleng Mongolian Autonomous Prefecture. This is in the northwest side of Xinjiang Autonomous Region, with many people from different ethnic groups. If I'm not wrong, it's over 30 ethnic groups, people living here. But this place in particular, it's famous for its Mongolian culture and Mongolian history. According to a young, beautiful lady who's calling herself Swan Lady for some reason that I will explain a little bit later, she told me that in Mongolian, the word Bainbuluke or Baimbula, yes, that's what she pronounced for me. Baimbula means abundant spring. It is because you can see on the grassland, as the second largest grassland in China, it actually has over 20 over 20 springs, 7 lakes. Oh, excuse me, no, it's 7 lakes and 20 rivers. And the river view is quite unique on this grassland. It is because of deflection force of Earth rotation. So you can see that the Earth is rotating every day, and the river flowing on the flat grassland is being affected by it. Hence, you can see it has so many twists and turns, even though it's only flat land. And in Chinese, we call it 九曲十八弯. I know, logically, it makes not a lot of sense, because if you have 9 turns, you must have 9 twists or 9 bends. But in Chinese, we say 九曲 means 9 twists and turns, 十八弯, 18 bends. It's only a way to describe how many turns and twists you can see on the grassland. And the reason that it's really significant and unique here is that if you stand right here on this platform and go watch the sunset here, especially on the Mid-Autumn Festival, 中秋节 Mid-Autumn Festival, which falls on the 1st of October this year, which is like, I don't know, a week or so after today, you probably get to see the reflection of the sun. 9 reflections of the sun here. Oh, excuse me, it's really windy, so and also I'm super excited, so I guess I'm a little bit trying to catch my breath a little bit harder. Still, you get to see 9 reflections of the sun right here, or maybe 8, adding the real suns out there in the sky. Okay, so that's about the background information of this place. Let's check your comments and see if you guys have any questions or any comments on it. We have many of you joining the live stream and watching with us. Thank you so much. Today, maybe not today, recently, Facebook is having this new feature allowing me to see basically all of you that's joining the live stream with me. So I'm saying hello to Jose Martinez and Jose saying something in Spanish. So saludos as well to you too. Good evening to Phil Miller. Good evening to Kenny Yam. You're always here. Thank you so very much. You are not only very supportive and always funny, giving me fun content and comments. Thank you so much. Yes, and you're saying hello to Una and Huang Yue as well. They are here with me behind the camera. Kenny saying it's quite windy sound. Yes, that's true. I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible already. I have actually had my mic clipped inside of my coat, but still it gets a little bit windy, so please bear with that. It's the nature's voice. Enjoy the nature's voice as well. At the same time, I'm saying hello to Jose, whose language I do not understand. Sorry for being not talented enough, but thank you so much for being here with us. And hello to Jessie. You're always here, of course. Hello, Jessie. Welcome to the live stream. Yes, I'm still seeing a lot of you guys joining, including Jude and Ben, Marsha. Kenny saying, China Plus America, always happy to join all your shows. Thank you. And also we have Shaquille saying, hi, girl. Hello to you too. Yes, you're welcome from Kenny. No, you deserve all the thanks I have. Okay, thank you guys so much for being super supportive. If I didn't shout out to you, it's merely because on top of this platform, possibly all the signals are blown away because of the beautiful view and the real strong wind. So sorry for not shouting out to you, but stay with us, you won't regret. Not only will see the splendid view of the sunset, the 9 reflections or probably 8 reflections of the sun with the real sun out there that you can see on the screen, which is quite unique. I am also going to give you a little bit more background information and stories about the people living here. Actually, this place is not only famous for the view, but also famous for the Terhut tribe. Terhut tribe. See, I'm going to show you how cold it is. See our colleagues out there. That's what they're wearing. It's super cold. And they're strong, confident men wearing super heavy and, coat. And I am wearing my coat. So yeah, girl power. Oh, this is a scene that is worth showing. Hello, 我们过来拍一下。Okay, let's go and check that out. You can try to hear the sound. Okay, so as you can probably already notice, this is a quite unique sound singing by some Mongolian people. This is actually called Humai, and the unique part of it is that originally or usually human beings get to have one sound or one tone one time, but for Humai or for this special technique, they get to pronounce different tones at the same time. It's kind of like having your own instrument with 2 strings sounding together. If you take a closer look at the music instrument they're playing, you can see that the tip of the instrument got a horse head on it, and it is called a Mongolian Utindu or Ertindu. Not really sure. Yeah, pretty sure I cannot join them. Too professional. think these ladies are within the same group of our Swan ladies that taught me how to pronounce the Bain Blue, which is the place, which is the name of the place. We call them Swan ladies, 天鹅姑娘, Swan ladies, because usually they welcome guests from right beside the Swan Lake. I think it's time for the music instrument. The music concert begins. I was wrong. Still dancing. Hello Daniel Wan and Jeff for watching the live stream with us. We are in Xinjiang, precisely Bain Guoleng, Mongolian Autonomous Prefecture. Hello to Ricardo, and Jeff saying, is that a Chinese song? I think it's a Mongolian ethnic group song that they're playing, and the dancing reflects the Mongolian feature quite well. The ladies are happy and beautiful, and they're mimicking the sound of a horse galloping on the grassland. Thank you, Jeff, for saying lovely. Daniel Wan, hello. Tracy and Sak, welcome to the live stream. This is Niao Niao doing a live stream with Huang Yu and Una behind the camera. We're showing you the Mongolian concert. 谢谢, thank you. I think the show is on, so let's continue to know. Probably I should go talk to them a little bit. Okay, let's go. 您好，请问一下您刚才唱的是什么？是哪一个种类？是长调还是？是长调吗？是有哪一种？就想表达什么？歌曲是要表达什么？
是赞美草原，是辽阔的草原，
辽阔的草原是吗？啊，
是我们家乡的歌曲。
好，谢谢，谢谢，非常漂亮，非常美。Okay, so the lovely lady just told me that this belongs to the traditional Mongolian long song. Just remember the long song, which are quite expressive and quite free. Actually, they have a lyrics, they have a theme that they want to praise. For example, sometimes their hometown, and in this particular song, they want to praise this prairie we are looking at right now. And as a singer, you get to express your feeling in your own way based on your feeling of the moment. So you can change the melody a little bit. That is called 长调. As you can hear, it's quite let's say it can transfer to a really far places because they usually sing it on the grassland, and when they do so, they can also attract or kind of like communicate with their fellow herdsmen far, far away. And like I said, the Mongolian costume is really pretty. 谢谢，谢谢，谢谢。Ashta， 那就是说谢谢，对不对 ？Ashta， see another language trying to learn. Ashta. All right, like we talked about this, let's go check out the instrumentalists as well and ask them about the Ting-du, if I'm right. 您好 ，Hello， 你们好。这个是马头琴，对不对？马头琴蒙语怎么说？Melonho, see not what I learned. 再来一遍。Melonho， 它虎是马吗？
琴的意思。
琴，所以 melon 是码头吗？对。真的是，它为什么是码头的形状？就是跟声乐没什么关系，就只是单纯的好看。Okay, so the horse is a noble symbol and also totem of the Mongolian ethnic group here in China, and probably all the Mongolian Mongolian people. That is why you can see that on top of this instrument there is this horse head, very vivid. It looks like the horse is screaming himself or shouting or, happily of course, because being an instrument. And this is a 2-string instrument. According to a fellow instrumentalist I talked to previously, this instrument can also mimic the sound of horse as well. So yes, 您能给我们拉一段吗？拉一段独奏的那种。好。这很艳吗？ Because this is about the birds migrating from faraway places to their hometown, and if you miss their hometown, absolutely lovely. The vast grassland, very windy vast grassland.我想问一下，就是你拉这个琴的时候，其实并不是在压这个琴弦，对不对？是在从侧面给顶的啊，是碰。可以，我可以学一下吗？那你教我一下好不好 ？I'm trying to learn it. Apparently, it's not going to be good because this is my first time. So please, turn down your volume when you watch the live stream. 我怎么拿应该？好，靠在后面。嗯。
夹到腿上。
架到腿上是不是？夹吗？
啊，对。
这样吗？
对。
这样啊？哇！
我会跟你说。
没关系，我不会打球。这个夹不住哎，是这样夹吗？
这样。对。
这样吗？
这种这两边夹。两边
夹吗？
啊，对。
Oh, I know, it's like riding a horse， 像我骑马一样哎。我天，好难啊！我而且穿的裙子哎。Okay, and I'm wearing a dress, which makes a little bit, but it's traditional, so don't laugh at me. Okay, let's leave it like this. 那我应该碰哪？这么抓吗？
所以用手柄。
It's not great, but it's not too bad, right? It's not horrible.
很帅哦。
谢谢。You guys do not know how many audience I have right now. On spot. Which makes it extra embarrassing. 可以换地方吗？比如哆来咪怎么找？
用手指一直在这点上。
啊，这个点儿吗？
啊，对。
Nope. Way too hard. Yeah, I give up. But I make sound. It's not horrible. 谢谢。第一次尝试马头琴，虽然拉得像弹棉花，但还是弄出了声音，就好难。所以你们要练多久啊？一般？
我拉了有10几年了。
10几年了。Okay, that's my bad. In order to learn this music instrument as good as beautifully playing as this gentleman right here, you need more than 10 years of playing. So that is absolutely very, very important. Okay, so let's continue to move and go check out the beautiful view. 谢谢，我们往这边走。来。哦，那边吗？我们等一下，哪一位？红色衣服。
呼麦可好了。
哦，是吗？那我们可以让他过来一下吗？
你先来了个。
Okay, so I got another specialist and expert in traditional Mongolian music. 您是呼麦，可以给我们表演一下吗？我现在拿着麦，您来一小段好不好？ 跟您聊啊。Okay, so I talked about it. Actually, when you're making a sound with your, I don't know, sound cord in your throat, it is impossible for normal people, for ordinary people, to have more than 2 tunes. So every single time you have 1 tune, that is why when you sing, you go according to the tones, and you would be able to sing according to the scores. However, Humai is transferring your own sound cord into a music instrument that allow you to have or to get out of 2 different tones with 1 sound. So yes, again, turning your sound cord into a music instrument. 请问一下，您练这个多长时间了
？9年了。
9年。Okay, he practiced 9 years to be able to perform like that. 那一般情况下，我们呼麦是会有就是多少比较著名的曲子，或者说是还是说就 freestyle 就可以？
出名的曲子就是那些大曲子，中国的那世界的大曲子都可以。
都可以呼麦吗？那有没有比如说刚才我们听了鸿雁，鸿雁可以呼麦吗？会不会有点奇怪？
可以啊。
可以，那我们试一下啊。Okay, so the one that we've just heard from the music instrument that I'm really bad at and the gentleman's really good at, that song, we are going to hear the Humai version of it. It is like with your sound cord, you can actually have both the left hand and right hand of your piano playing. So that is how amazing it is. 非常感谢，非常感谢，太厉害了，谢谢。And also right now we see a lot of audiences right here, and I see a very expressive audience. So let me talk to him. 您好，您是过来旅游的吗？
是啊。
您刚才我看您就是对这个呼麦感觉非常震惊，是因为很喜欢蒙古文化吗？
因为我去过内蒙，我听说过呼麦这2个词，但是我没有听过什么叫呼麦，只会说会拉得很长，拉得很长。就是我今天非常幸运，我真的非常幸运，我到了新疆，没想到到了这个蒙古自治县，听到了我们这么美丽的这种呼麦声音。
Okay, so our audience is saying that he has seen this or heard of this word Humai, these 2 Chinese characters in Inner Mongolia, and he heard of it, and he know it's something, it's a special, unique. People can make really long-lasting sounds with it, but he didn't know how exactly it is. And today he was very lucky to be here and witness and listen to it himself. 那您是哪儿的人啊？
我是广州人。
广州人啊，
我从广州过来的。
那您说粤语吗？
我是广州的湖南人。
广州的湖南人呢？好的呀。
湖南湘潭人。
哦，您好，您好。那您是什么时候来新疆过来旅游？因为旅游刚刚放开嘛。
来了几天了？17号过来的。
17号过来的。
对，来了几天了。
Okay, 好，谢谢您，谢谢。Okay, so our gentleman
也好像很少了，很少。
是的，非常罕见，是的，而且都需要
保护。
是，您说特别对，是的，谢谢。Okay, so he said that because the tourist industry has just reopened after the control of the COVID-19 right here, and the gentleman, the audience we've seen just now, just arrived at the 18th to Xinjiang Autonomous Region, and he said that he heard Humai and he was very excited about it, saying that we should all protect and preserve this special technique. Yes, I see a lot of people over here. All of them are very, very excited. Hopefully you are enjoying this as much as I am, and if so, please shout out to me in the comment area. If there's any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Let's see if there are any of you watching and asking questions. James saying cool, thank you, I believe so. And if you are you can hear it as clearly as I am, because I am standing right next to the Humai master, and he said that, well, I looked at the shape of his mouth and the tone and everything. I still don't crack the secret of him knowing such special techniques. So yes. And continuing with the question, we have Jessie saying beautiful singing. Yes, totally. And Kenny saying the local people can do very low or high tone and able to change within second. It's like beatboxing. I think it's even more impressive than beatbox because beatboxing allows you to do different sounds with music instruments, but this allows you to have music instruments in different sounds simultaneously at the same time. So instead of beatboxing, I feel like they have a whole music band. Okay, let's see what are some other questions you have. We have Geneva saying, very sweet of everyone. I enjoyed my morning. Thank you so much for saying that. And we have our friend saying, I love the live stream from James. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Okay, thank you, Huang Yu. Okay, she's offering me some really kind of thick cold, which is going to help me with the temperature, but I might get on them when I cannot bear, because again, I want to show you the best view not only of this place but also of me myself. Like I was saying, this place is also famous for its rich cultural background and history of the Mongolian Turhut tribe. We briefly touched upon the story of the Turhut people coming back to the east, to their hometown. In I think one of our previous live streams, when we enjoyed a lot of Mongolian beautiful songs and dances, the concert. But I'm going to give you a more detailed version of the story, because this is actually the destination. They traveled for so long and lost a lot of lives, sacrificed a lot in order to go back here. So to us, this is beautiful view. This is amazing. This is amazing grassland. This is wonderful environmental resources. But to them, it is their home. It is what their ancestors really fought for. So yes, let me give you a little bit more information, which I need a little cheat sheet correct for my details. In order to talk about the Turhuts going back to the east, going back to their hometown, we need to say a little bit about why they left. Actually, the nomadic Turhut originally lived near what is now Tachong. Remember Tachong, the lovely place that we enjoyed the magical and fantastic wedding of the two Uyghur, let's say the young Uyghur couple. That's Tachong. It is also located in the, let's say, border area of the country, and it was the home to the Turhut tribe. However, with the population growing rapidly and the fighting with other tribes in order to get the grassland, get the territory, the Turhut people was not that lucky. They ended up losing the battle, forcing them to find other places to inhabit it. That is when they started to moving westwards to controlled by Russian area that is right beside the Volga River. So that they spent around 100 years living there next to Russian people. At the very beginning, everything was, rosy and happy. They get together, coexist peacefully. However, with the Russian, let's say, government then being more and more pushy and treating them more and more harsh, they started to realize that it is impossible for them to have a normal life in that area. They have a lot of officials sent by the Russian people to make their own Khan. Remember, the Khan is the Mongolian king of a tribe, the Mongolian ruler of a tribe. The Khan, basically a mere figurehead, and geographically, because they are the nomadic people, they need a lot of grassland to raise their stocks. So the Russian people actually made their grassland shrunk a lot, which makes it impossible for them to make a living. And of course, they were not treated respectively. Respectfully. They were not treated equally. That is when they decided to come back to their hometown. Even though it's already 100 years later, even though the generations then didn't even have the experience of living in China, didn't have the experience of living in not only Tachong area, let alone this grassland we are watching right now, still they wanted to go home. They still remember that lovely, let's say, history, and they wanted to make sure they get they have their offsprings to have a better life. So in 1761, the 19-year-old Khan of the Terhut tribe then the Terhut tribe decided to go back. So for them, it was quite a endeavor. It was quite a arduous journey, because we can see that at the very beginning, they have 1,700 people migrating from the Volga River side towards east, and when they arrived, they've only got over 40,000 people. Some had set new settlements along the way, but others were either killed by Russian army units or succumbed to the hostile environment. And eventually they arrived here on the Baimbulu grassland. And they were treated like a hero by not only their own people, but also the Emperor Qianlong, the Qianlong Emperor of the Qing dynasty, which is also lived around the 18th century, treat them like a hero, because the Qianlong Emperor believed that they wanted to come back to China so badly, they sacrificed so much, they deserve to be treated as a hero, and that is when they were assigned to the Baimbulu grassland, so that they can have a happy life ever after right here. So yes, ever from there, from the 18th century, we got the Terhut tribe living here, and nowadays they get to talk about their histories, start a Mongolian ethnic group themed, let's say, tourism industry. And most interestingly, I found is that they also brought back a lot of black-head sheep. We say 黑头羊. They brought them back from Russia, and now it is also a special product here in this grassland. According to, again, a Swan lady we encountered on the bus today, these black-head sheep are quite delicious. Their meat are tender, or should I say their lamb is tender, and they are quite tender in terms of personality or totality themselves. So yes, a lot has come from the heroic behavior from the Mongolian ethnic group people. Okay, let's check out whether or not you guys have any questions towards this story. I see a lot of you joining the live stream. This is Niu with Una and Huang Yue here on the Baimbulu grassland. We're doing a live stream covering the landslide journey here in Xinjiang. We travel from the north, where the natural resources are abundant and the scenic is very amazingly beautiful, towards the south, where you can get to have rich culture and beautiful history. And on top of that, I am saying hello to a lot of you. Oh, Jessie is saying, please pardon the audio issue. The location is quite windy. Yes, thank you, Jessie, for saying that. That is quite the truth. I'm trying to cover the mic with my coat already, but apparently you guys are still hearing some windy sounds, so sorry for that. And we have Kimberly saying, I learned something new today. Thank you so much. I'm very glad I shared something new today to you too. And we see James saying, Kenny, how is your evening going for you? Yes, you guys can have that discussion. Our community is always like a little family, having all different members sharing their own stories and personal lives. Hopefully we can be good friends on Facebook ourselves too. Thank you so very much for all of that. And since we are standing on the grassland, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the grassland as well. As you can see, we did not really witness any trees here, because grassland is a little bit like a cross or a buffer zone before desert. And the determining factor is actually the rainfall over here. So if you get around 25 to 30 millimeters, 30 inches of rainfall every year, then you're basically a grassland area. If the volume is lower than that, the grassland would slowly transfer to a desert. And if it's higher than that, you would be able to see some trees slowly transfer to a forest. So yesterday, Huang Yue did an amazing live stream on the Nalati grassland. On that grassland, we get to see a lot more trees, which make that is due to the reason I have just explained. But for this one, because this is an alpine kind of grassland, it is the second largest one in China, so quite vast. And because of the unique geographic condition here, I think the quality of the grass is quite nutritious, and the lambs here, including the black-head lamb, can live a really great life because they get to have the delicacy of this special kind of grass on this land. At the same time, we know that fire is also a good friend to grasslands, because the fire would make the grass more resilient and healthier, and the underground system of grass would protect them from the fire so they don't extinct. What kills you makes you stronger, I guess. And on the In Blue grassland, there's one more story I'd like to share. I'm not really sure if you guys are a huge fan of Chinese literature or Chinese novels, but actually, if you are, you might have heard the story of the Journey to the West, 西游记, Journey to the West. In that story, we have the famous monk of the Tang Dynasty, Tang Song, we call him Xuanzang Li monk, going to the west to get the true essence of the Buddhism, let's say, spirit and the Buddhism text. So his journey was to going to the west and get all the Buddhism texts, and he got the help of two of his, I don't think they're students, let's call them the four helpers. And one chapter of that story was about them making a promise to a huge tortoise, because the tortoise has lived so long already, and he want them to ask the Buddhist himself how many years did he still have, and five member team forgot to do so. So on their way back to the Tang Dynasty, they got onto the tortoise again to travel across the river, and the tortoise said, "Did you ask the Buddhists about my longevity?" And they forgot to do so. So the tortoise actually threw them into the river, and all their Buddhism texts were wet, and they had to get all the texts out and have them on direct sunlight to sun dry them. And that specific river actually also flows through the In Blue grassland as well. And as you can see, all the tourists here are trying to take a picture of the beautiful sunset. It is a very lively place, and I know we're not wearing a mask because the situation is getting much better, and I will give you the end of that story a little bit later, and let's go see what they are singing about. Look at Huang Yue, she's wearing that whole coat. She's so cold. Not only the singers, and not only the singers and dancers from the Mongolian ethnic group, but I think some audiences are joining as well. And everyone is wearing a lot of clothes. Okay, that's some lovely scene. Let's keep moving a little bit. 来，我们关一下。You can see it from here, like I said, on the very, very flat grassland. The river is flowing with a lot of twists and turns because of the deflection force of the Earth's rotation. So they are affected by the rotation of the Earth itself. So you can see all these different turns. And today is a little bit windy and cloudy, and that is why we do not really get to see a very bright sun over there, so we can take great pictures. But I still think it's an amazing place to enjoy the sunset. Okay, now let me give you the end of the story I just talked about. At the end of their journey, they realized that because their Buddhist texts were thrown into water and they were read, and some of the words were smushy. They cannot get a clear view of it. They didn't really know what the text was about, or some of the text was about. So the Xuanzang monk was a little bit, let's say, depressed and a little bit upset about it. But instead of him being the famous monk, one of the students actually said that first of all, it is important to keep a promise. We didn't deliver the result of the promise, so we kind of deserve this punishment. It's just a little bit too windy. And also, the student said, according to the Buddhism, the world is not a perfect place, or absolute perfection does not exist. So the sheer fact that we lost a little bit of the results, we got a little bit of imperfection, makes our journey absolutely perfect. Absolutely in accordance with the essence of the Buddhism spirit. So yes, I think this is a very lovely story, and it also makes me feel like on this grassland, even though the Tarhut tribe has suffered a lot, even though they had to come back here to restore their life, they did so and they succeed. And some 40,000 people get to be here on this beautiful grassland and have their life back. Also have a museum here in Bulu to showcase and demonstrate that lovely history. So if you ever come here to Xinjiang Autonomous Region, to the Dayinguolong Autonomous Prefecture, and to Hejing County yourself, you can come here and go to visit that museum and learn a little bit more about this lovely, lovely history of the Mongolian ethnic group here in China. And yes, this is very lovely. Let me see if you guys have any questions right here. We see many of you joining the live stream. We have Harold saying thank you, everyone. Very beautiful. Thank you so much. I do also think it is very beautiful and absolutely stunning. Hopefully you enjoyed the story as well. And I have to admit, the reason I got another phone is because my previous phone is dead. It's frozen to death already. Thank you, Apple. But I still got another one, and let's see if I can see some of your comments on this phone. The signal is being blown away by the beautiful, beautiful view as well as the wind. Okay, Kenny saying the landscape is beautiful, looking over those rivers. Yes, absolutely. And we have James saying, what are the temperatures there? The temperature is low, really too low to... Yeah, I don't think that's right. Huang Yue showed me it's 24 degrees Celsius. I do not believe that. Okay, it's supposed to be 8 degrees Celsius. But I think one thing I noticed, or I realized on my traversing Xinjiang trip, is that the temperature or the feeling of the same temperature in different places can be quite different. If you're here in Xinjiang, the temperature forecast, I'm saying bring as many clothes as you can, because right here on the platform there's no block at all. You do not see really high mountains or peaks around you to block the wind, and it gets really, really cold. So yes, bring as many clothes as possible. Let's see if there's any other questions on our China Plus America platform. Oh, I see James saying, Yu Huang and Una, you ladies have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for doing that. Your phone is now letting it go and went into the unknown. Yes, my phone is going to the mysterious land, but I am still being very excited, sharing all these lovely history and view with you guys. And since we've already covered the comments on the China Plus America platform, let's see if I get to see some comments from the Learn Chinese platform. Well, I see Fei Yu saying 老师晚上好，晚上好 to you too。我们现在在巴音布鲁克草原 grassland 草原 grassland。 Jeff, hi Jeff, happy to have you here. DB is saying hi, Nyo, hello to you too. And our friend whose name I do not know how to pronounce, but have a lovely profile picture of pink and blue sky probably combining together, saying, are you in Tibet? So beautiful. That is my I'm not in Tibet, I'm actually in Xinjiang, Uyghur Autonomous Region, and the reason you find that a little bit close to Tibet is because I think the landscape is a little bit similar, and at the same time, I think one of their special product here, which is the yaks, is actually breeded with the same species in Tibet. So I guess the altitude as well as the landform can be really, really similar. But if you love the landscape in Tibet, I bet you would love Xinjiang as well. Okay, so these people from Mongolian ethnic group here in China have to take care of themselves and get their clothes on because they have to perform a lot here on this platform. It's really windy and cold. So thanks to them again. 谢谢你们，谢谢。Alright, we also have Okar saying hello to you too. And we have Bartaman saying, how can I learn Chinese? You stay on the platform, that's how you do that. Yes, Taiwan grassland. And 冷, 非常冷, very, very cold. 冷,透心凉, it's a Chinese expression. It means the wind is blowing you through. Your intestines, your heart, your every pore can feel the wind going through. That's how cold it is. Sorry, not clear your voice. Very sorry to hear that. I am trying to block the wind or help the mic fight against the wind, but I guess it's a little bit too hard because it's really, really windy. Let's see if by zipping up, can I make it a little bit better by zipping up? Is my voice clear now even though you cannot see my face? Is it clear? Is it? Not really sure. Let's see. Okay. Even though you might find that my voice can be a little bit interrupted by the wind, I still feel I need to share with you one more detail of the Mongolian ethnic group here in China. That is one of their product or one of their costume, one of their favorite everyday drink is called kumis. Kumis, 马奶酒, kumis. It's basically fermented horse milk, and it got a little bit of alcohol in it after the chemical reaction, kumis. One of the waitress, when they welcome really distinguished guests, when they give you a warm welcome, they would give a toast to the guests with the kumis. So the question here today is that when you got the kumis, would you drink it slowly to taste the savor, and to praise and to say this is really delicious along the way? Or would you bottom up in the first try? Which one to go? Which is the polite way? Which is the way that is more in accordance with the Mongolian culture? So, kumis. When you're drinking kumis, when you're being given a toast of the kumis, which is the right way to go? Would you drink it slowly and then praise how delicious it is, or would you bottom up? And so this is really amazing. Which one to go? Just the answer in the comment area and let me know if you can guess which one is the more polite way. The wind is getting even more fierce, and the sun is coming out. Let's go see if we can get the sun setting. I'm covering my face not for the purpose of covering my face, but in order to be able to cover the mic so you get to hear my voices more clearly. Not really sure if you can hear me now. Let me know if the voice of the mic is getting a little bit better with that. And okay, you can see on the grassland the twists and turns. The Imbu grassland is also called the Imbu Perori. Actually, grasslands has a lot of names. I think in the latitude like this, as well as some grasslands in America, people would say it is a prairie, and some would also call it a steppe. A lot of Chinese grasslands are called steppe, and this one is particularly a prairie or a grassland you can color. Now I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Let's see if I got any reaction from you about the voice, quality of the voice. Not really. Okay. On the grassland, you can imagine that the Mongolian ethnic group is actually living quite a nomadic life. They chase or go after the grass as well as the water, and they would build their own yard. In Chinese, we have a song, 敖包相会. Actually, previously I thought 敖包 was their own buildings, their accommodations, but later on talked by or from a swan lady who resided in Swan Lake. She said that 敖包 is actually let's say, a yard that is for them to have their own sacrifice and ritual and worshipping their gods. So, well, I think I forgot one detail about the Turgut tribe coming back to the east. Another reason that they got to come back here is because when they were under the Russian governance, they were not allowed to worship their own gods, to have their own religion, which was the Tibetan Buddhism then, and they were asked to turn into the Russian Orthodox, which they would not, and that is why they decided to come back to their hometown, to China, where they are allowed to worship any as they want, to allow to have their own religion, and they even brought back 7 Buddhism temples with their horse vehicle, and you can still get to see all 7 temples here in Blue Grassland. So quite impressive. And since you know that they can bring their gods and bring their basically temples with them, that is one thing about the Mongolian ethnic group. That is, their gods are portable in a way. If it's not a bad thing to say, their gods are portable. They can transfer or bring their god with them when they actually move around. In order to have a worship ceremony, they actually have to find where the sun is shining or where the sun rises. 太阳升起的方向, where the sun rises. That's how they store their door of the yard, and then they would store the I think the roof, the equivalent of a roof on the yard. And they would bring 5 different colors of fabric as the wool. I think the colors are yellow, representing the soil, red representing fire, green representing grass, blue representing water, as well as white representing pure or purity. And with all that, they get to have their worshipping ceremony in that sacred yard. At the grassland, whenever you want, whenever you construct such yard, it is your sacred temple. It is where you can worship your gods and pay tributes to the ancestors that actually bring you back to a very conducive environment for you to have a life. That is the ratio of the Mongolian people. So yes, portable gods and any religions they would like to have, especially when they're here in China. Preserved culture and preserved religions. Right now you can see the sun is setting. I do not really see the reflections of the sun in the river yet, but this is quite a unique scene, and all these, I think, travelers are on the best spot trying to capture the beauty with their camera. Let's go join them. To my personal high power, I'm really, really cold. My phone is dead. So, yes. 是我们 在做直播。So all these lovely tourists are saying hi to me. 你们好，你们好，你们是哪儿来的呀？东北的。哎呦 I can hear from the accent. To our friends on Learn Chinese Facebook page, actually we have a lot of beautiful accents in different parts of the country, and our friends here have a very, let's say, distinctive one. 我们在说东北口音特别好，特别容易辨认。
跟小沈阳一个地方的。
是吗？
我们东北那旮旯的。
特别好。
好听吗？
您是什么时候来的新疆呀
？4天了。
4天了，就基本上一放开就过来了，是吗？
对。
虽然天气冷，但特别美。
对，
好
特别美。
那你们继续看，我们不打扰你们。Okay, so yes, a lot of tourists have arrived here, and I think for this year is quite unique because Xinjiang had their own, let's say, second fight against COVID-19 in their region, and after that, they have, in order to encourage more tourists to come, they are giving a lot of preference policies. A lot of tourist attractions in Xinjiang are free of charge. So if you're interested, you're very welcome to be here as well. And if you are here, make sure you come to see this very unique sunset with your naked eye, because I have to tell you, even though it's super cold here, it's totally worth the coldness and worth the trouble. On that lovely note, hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's live stream. If so, please like and share and comment as much as possible. It helps us a lot. At the same time, if you want to know the story of the Turhut people going back to their hometown with so much troubles but totally worth it, you can go watch the playback of it. And also, if you have enjoyed the story of the 5 people or 5-member team going into the West to get the real essence of the Buddhism, you can go read the Chinese literature, A Journey to the West, 西游记. If you like that, we can have more discussion about it in the future. Thank you so very much for being with us in today's live stream, and I will see you next time. Actually, Huang Yue will see you tomorrow, showing you a very amazing, spectacular scene. Make sure you do not miss it. Bye bye everyone, see you next time.
我给你拿。